Hey, what's up? This is Alex Brooks, and it's day 14. I'm halfway through this thing. I'm really, uh, surprised, and I'm excited at the same time. I feel like I've learned so much from doing these short videos every day. It can be, it takes discipline to be focused and make sure that I do the videos. Um, and do them early before my day starts to get hectic. The best time for me to get these done are in the morning because once the first couple meetings, the first meeting starts, it just keeps going from there. And every day as a small business owner, there's a surprise. So I'm always working through it. So a little bit of an update from yesterday. I was able to finally get the promo video done for our Digital Shift Summit that's coming up on actually, and I'll share the date with you guys. It's starting June 17th. We have 2 days planned, but we might be adding on a third day depending on how many speakers that we have booked. So super pumped about that. I still need to do a little bit of work on the landing page to just get it up and running. But my goal is, and I know I've been telling you guys that every day, is I hope to get it done today. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But so I'm super pumped about that. One of the things, this is kind of random, that I thought about right before I started doing this shooting is dealing with difficult clients. I haven't had any difficult clients lately, which, knock on wood, is awesome. I'm very happy about that. But I have dealt with difficult clients in the past, and I've also had colleagues of mine that I've talked to about how they could handle dealing with difficult clients. So the thing about being a small business owner, whenever you have, every client counts. And anytime you have a client that has bad energy or they're really difficult to work with, it can really strain your company. It can pull you guys in the opposite direction because, business is all about momentum. Momentum helps you shift and push into the next level of execution. And you always want to try to stay in that state as much as possible, being able to have momentum working for you. And what happens when you have a client that is difficult to work with? Maybe it's because they have a lot of time. It requires a lot of time for them to get things done, or maybe it may be that they're very meticulous on critiquing things, or just overly involved where it's not benefiting both parties. That can be hard to deal with. So here's how I usually deal with difficult clients. At the beginning, when I work with every client, I try to set expectations. But more importantly, that first month for me, it helps me see if working with this client is going to make sense. And I evaluate that in a couple ways. One is, are they constantly trying to renegotiate the budget that you put together? That's one red flag. Or complaining about it constantly. Two, they every time you have a meeting, or you're planning a meeting, they don't respect your time. And what I mean by that is, maybe you have a meeting at 2 p.m., but they want to call you 3 hours before to ask you several more questions. So companies that don't respect your time, that's another red flag. There's a couple other red flags I'm just trying to think of. But though I would say that, and then also just attitude. If you have working with a client that's just negative, and they're anytime you tell them to do something, or you're in a conversation, they find a negative outcome from that situation, or complaining. Those are clients that you want to, after that first month, that trial period, or the first 3 months, however you do it, you want to communicate with them like, this is a two-way street. It's a relationship, and we have to be able to find a middle ground to work together. And if we can't, then I have to let you go, and I can refer you to somebody else. And I've had to do that a couple times. Again, I've had some colleagues that have struggled with that. So that's I wanted to share that little piece of advice of how I deal with difficult clients. because we all have them, but it's important to recognize when a client you shouldn't be working with them just because they're going to pull you back. I know it's a random thought, but I wanted to share that with you. Also, yesterday I did my second interview for the Digital Shift Summit. So every speaker, my goal is to try to sit down and do like a 25 to 30 minute interview with them and just get some nuggets on how, based on their expertise, what should a person be doing to be successful in that domain, whether it's social media or affiliate marketing or web design. I want to pull out all the answers to the questions that most people are struggling to figure out. But yesterday I had an interview with Joshua Dirks, who is the owner of Project Bionic. He's been in the digital marketing world for 20 years, so he's seen all the ups and downs, a part of the .com bust, and right now he runs a company that's in the social media marketing space. And it was cool talking to him because he helped me shed more light for me personally, and also for the people who will get a chance to see these interviews. He shedded light on how do you approach social media, and two of the things that I took away from that was, whenever you're starting with any social media platform, it's all about rapid experimentation. You have to be constantly experimenting with things to figure out what works, figure out what doesn't work. And so that's a lot of testing. And then you need to be obsessed with the data. Really be obsessed with the data on how are your campaigns or your posts performing? What are people engaging with? Is it video? Is it infographics? Is it just images? Is it quotes? You have to dig deep and figure out those things. And he left me, I've been asking my speakers what would be one piece of advice that they would leave for any type of business that is really just trying to get their foot, get their wheels spinning in the social media space. And the biggest thing that he told me was you really just gotta get immersed and get obsessed with the details. Everything about whatever social media platform you're focused on, you have to get immersed and obsessed with the details, and constantly use the data and the experimentation to learn. Because social media is always changing, and with that being said, nobody masters the social media, because the leaders of Facebook and all those people are constantly changing the rules. So you have to constantly be on your toes. You have to constantly be obsessed with what's working and what's not, what platform is hot, and which one is going down. So but that's my day. That's why I wanted to share with you guys this morning before I get started today. And getting things working. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.